こんな景色が見られるなんて。ありがとう、マリー。
チコさん、どこかひょうひょうとしていて、何でも知っていそうなとこ。
So what I'm about to say isn't just unique to Welcome to Japan Miss Elf. It's not unique to Welcome to Japan Miss Elf episode 11. But one of the reoccurring themes that I've talked about in Welcome to Japan Miss Elf specifically is I don't mind the fact that an isekai or dream world exists. I think that the thing that makes Japan, the Miss Elf Japan, Welcome to Japan Miss Elf, most special is just the fact that there was an elf from a different world isekai'd or brought over to Japan, and now she's discovering all the things that Japan and our modern world offer as opposed to the world that she comes from. And I think even more so, one of the cool things is the fact that she's still able to access and use some semblance of her magic and powers that came from that world. I think that's so cool. Where the show fails, in my opinion, and again, it's not a unique thing to Miss Elf. A lot of anime do this, is they have a plot line or a storyline or a thing that they don't quite explain, and you can kind of feel like maybe the author, the creator, didn't quite understand what the hell that they were actually creating, and they just kind of created like fun stuff, good things to have, but they were like, how does it work? They're like, I don't know, don't worry about it, just enjoy it, you know? And that is a totally okay path or thing to take if they don't keep shoving it in your face. So my problem with episode 11 specifically wasn't that I didn't completely enjoy it. I like seeing Kazuhiko or Kazuhiro, whatever, and I made the same mistake Elf did. I love seeing their relationship. I love the fact that the Arc Dragon gave them a cat familiar. I love that they were like, they had a cat backpack, and, you know, she went to the Shinkansen or the Shinkansen, however you say, the bullet train. They went through the bullet train the first time, and they were spotted by kind of like elderly folks that were just kind of like, oh, look at that cute couple. And they shopped bento boxes, and she got to visit his grandpa's not domain. She got to visit his grandpa's house and where he grew up. And I love her childlike curiosity about like, oh, these are just like the houses I see in anime. Like, I don't get me wrong, I love the episode. I thought the episode was so good. Honestly, like an 8 out of 10 episode. Like, again, I love her childlike curiosity. I love that she thought that there was gonna be like demons or things inside of the closet. I love that Kazuhiko was like, oh, just like, you know, this room that I used to stay in, you know, there's a secret path. There's a secret passageway somewhere. She's like, oh my God, I gotta find it. And she just continues to find it. Eventually her and the kitty, they end up finding the door to the attic up, you know, upstairs or whatever. And there was like a mouse there. She's like, ah. And even the art dragon familiar was like, ah. The art dragon familiar to the little cat got scared of the cows. I thought it was just an adorable, 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 adorable episode. I love when they were talking to his grandpa, and I love how grandpa's in the know. I'll get to that in a minute, but I love how they were talking to his grandpa, and, you know, he's talking to grandma, and I love that they shared some drinks, some sake together, and some good meals, and eventually they go out to see like the night sky, which is totally different than Tokyo, right? Just like if you're in a major city like I am, the view that you have when it comes to the stars and the moon and stuff is drastically different than when, like, you know, personally, I'm over here in Arizona, so I'm in the main town, or I'm in the main city, but when I go up and I travel, you know, up north to like the smaller towns where there's not really as much people, like the night sky is like, it looks like this, like you could touch the stars. It's a really cool thing. So the fact that they were able to see that, and the mountain, and the time they spent together, and I just thought it was adorable and it was cute. And when she was able to access her magic, like the little light fairies and stuff, I was like, oh my God. So they exist, like they're a real thing, and they exist in this, you know, in this, we're like in this realm and world too. It's just people don't quite have the knowledge of how to access magic. So then that led me into, well, you know, can Kazuhiko also, like, is it just that he has abilities as well? Like, is he also able to access that kind of stuff? He just he hasn't tried, or he doesn't quite understand, or because maybe he's thought this whole time that, you know, this is just a dream world that he goes to that he doesn't quite put two and two together. And I don't know the answer to that question, which is totally fine. I like that it brought a semblance of curiosity. Now, you might be talking to yourself, or you might be saying, like, as you're watching me talk and praise, you might be like, well, Dom, did you just say you hated some shit? Well, here's the thing, is the whole back and forth, traveling to Japan and stuff. So his grandpa, you know, is like, oh, we always thought he was just in his own dreams. You know, he just kind of like in somewhere else. And, you know, they're like, you know, and so basically grandpa is in the know the whole time. And eventually he comes and he sees that Elf, you know, or you know, yeah, he sees that, you know, Elf and Maribel and Kazuhiko they turn into like little light balls and they're gone. So the whole time we thought, you know, or I thought, you know, their bodies kind of stay in like a stagnant, dormant state. And one of the things that early on I had theorized was like, oh, well, his body is here, but his soul or spirit goes somewhere else. But that's not true. When this mother effer falls asleep, he literally travels to the other world. So his body kind of like dissipates. Now that led me into even more down a path of questions, and I hate when shit's not explained, because that leaves me in, as a child, especially when you're a kid, right? You're 10 years old or whatever. You're falling asleep all over the effing place. You've probably fell asleep in class, even if it's unintentional. So it's impossible that throughout his whole life, childhood and adult life, he's never fallen asleep somewhere. And people just go like, where the F did this guy go? Where did this kid go? He just turned into light dust and then he's gonna come back? It makes no sense, because it confirmed they disappear. The other thing it confirmed is Maribel, fell asleep on the bullet train without Kazuhiko. So that means that he is 100% the key. But that also tells you, once again, if he falls asleep and you're near him, you're going with him. So then that leads me into another, like, you know, another path of like, it's impossible. So it just really breaks my immersion when anime, and again, it's not just Miss Elf, but when anime have these very thin storylines or plot lines or major point of the anime, and they don't explain, because you could tell they don't know either. And it just drives me insane. And I don't mean to nitpick on like one thing, but they shove it in your face, and they have grandpa going, woo hoo hoo hoo, look at my little boy, he's off, enjoy your dreams. And you're just like, okay, explain it to us. How does it work? Is it a god? Is it a this? Is it a power? Did they just been hiding it for him? Whatever. Did grandpa and grandma have these powers too? Grandma seemed to have been heavily in the know. Grandpa's in the know. He's like, you know, so it's like, what is the deal? And it just bothers me to no end. And it really does. Like, if I were to say, okay, at the end of it, the anime is a 7 out of 10, it would take it down to like a 6 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10. Like, it would lose a half or a half point or a full basis point, because we have one episode left. We're not getting explained. You know what I mean? And it just bothers me. And yeah, I hate that about the anime. But again, it's not something it's not a symptom of just Miss Elf. A lot of anime do this, to where like they have this major thing, which you can totally overlook. Like, I'm totally cool to turn my brain off and not worry about it. But when they bring it up over and over and over and over, you're like, okay, figure it the fuck out. Explain it to me. Give us a 5-minute rant on how it works. Have this freaking ass dude beamed up to God or something, and that's how his powers are explained to him and us at that time. Or maybe it is derivative of, maybe it's a familial thing that's been a curse that was passed down. Maybe it is from grandpa or grandmama. But, you know, have them explain it to him and us or whatever. Like, anyways, yeah. This episode was cool. It was cute. Just that bothers me. So if you made it to this part of the video, thank you for listening to my rant about Miss Elf. We have one episode left, and then I'll see you guys for the spring season. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend, depending on when you're watching this. And if you're watching this not near the weekend, I appreciate you being here. Hit me with a like and subscribe. All right. See you next one. Peace.